Thanks for joining us today. We are here to share traffic and safety details regarding the 2025 annual Lincoln Marathon and Half Marathon happening this Sunday, May 4th. I'm going to introduce each of our speakers. Please let everyone share their prepared statements and then we can take your questions at the end. Joining me this morning are Lincoln Police Department Captain Ben Kopsa, that's K-O-P-S-A, LFR PIO MJ Learman, L-I-E-R-M-A-N, Lincoln Transportation and Utilities Right-of-Way Superintendent Shane Dostal, D-O-S-T-A-L, Ryan Renier and Jamie Lanka with the Lincoln Track Club, that's R-E-G-N-I-E-R, and Jamie is J-A-M-I, Lanka, L-A-N-K-A, Ben Cahoon with Pink Gorilla Events, C-O-H-O-O-N, and LPD investigator Jason Drager, which is spelled D-R-A-G-E-R. We'll start with Captain Kopsa.
Thanks, Erica. As we prepare for the 48th annual Lincoln Marathon this Sunday, the Lincoln Police Department wants to remind everyone that our top priority is the safety and security of the runners, the volunteers, the spectators, and the community as a whole. LPD officers will be stationed at the start and finish lines as well as along the entire race route to help manage traffic and keep a close eye on crowd safety. We encourage everyone to take a moment before Sunday to review the race map and plan ahead. If your plans include travel across the marathon course, use an alternate route or leave early to help reach your destination on time. Our goal is to reopen intersections along the route as quickly as possible to minimize disruptions and avoid delays. We appreciate your patience and cooperation. For the most up-to-date information throughout race day, our PIO will be posting live updates on X. You can follow us at Lincoln_police as intersections reopen and for other helpful updates. Thank you, and we look forward to a safe and successful marathon. I'll now turn it over to LFR PIO MJ.
Thank you, Ben. In the past, LFR has responded to several medical emergencies during and after the race. Weather is a significant factor on a number of incidents LFR responds to. At this time, weather is in our favor, but could change as the race day approaches. So please be aware of the weather as you plan your day. LFR will have 3 additional units staffed for the race. These medic units are in place to assist with EMS and transport needs. Additional EMS resources will be standing by the course for medical needs. Several medical aid stations are positioned along the route and have trained medical staff on them. We would like to thank all the agencies and staff who have volunteered their time to assist the Lincoln Marathon. We do see an influx of people in our city and want them to know that their health and safety is our priority during their visit. I'd like to invite Shane Dostal to come up next.
Thanks, MJ, or LJ, I should say. This is a big weekend in Lincoln. Lincoln Transportation and Utilities is proud to once again support the mayor's race on Saturday and the Lincoln Half Marathon and Full Marathon on Sunday. Thousands of runners will take to the streets, and the energy across the city is always incredible. At LTU, one of our top priorities is safety. Whether you're a runner, spectator, or just traveling through the city, our team is working hard to ensure everyone gets to where they need to go and safely and efficiently. Throughout the week leading up to the race, you'll see our crews placing cones, traffic signs, and temporary closures around the city. This traffic equipment helps define the race route and separate vehicles from foot traffic. Our job is to create clear, safe paths for our runners. Streets will open up as the last participant passes through the major street intersections. The Lincoln Marathon is a large-scale effort for our department. About 15 LTU team members are involved in setup and takedown. On race day, we'll be coordinating closely with the Lincoln Police Department and race organizers to keep everything running smoothly. The marathon will require several temporary street closures beginning Saturday morning for the mayor's run and then again on Sunday during the race. These closures are necessary to provide a safe and open course for the runners. One notable change this year is a full closure of 10th Street from Van Dorn Street to K Street. This will give runners dedicated space and enhance safety for them and for the drivers. This also means drivers are encouraged to plan their routes ahead of the race and take alternate streets to get to their destinations. We ask that you drive slow and pay close attention when traveling on Normal Boulevard. Drivers will see a mix of ongoing construction, shifting lanes, and runners. Safety is our top priority and concern, and we appreciate everyone's caution and patience along the marathon route and across the city. For those driving downtown or attending weekend events, including church services, we encourage you to visit our street closures map at lincoln.ne.gov/closure or download the free Waze mobile app for the most up-to-date navigation to help avoid street closures and constructions. You'll also find helpful information at lincolnmarathon.org. Parking is available in city garages downtown, and we also encourage residents of Lincoln to carpool to and from the race. The race is a true community effort, and we thank you, the residents, volunteers, and drivers for their cooperation and flexibility. We're proud to help make the Lincoln Marathon a safe and successful event for everyone. I'd like to now invite Ryan and Jamie up from the Lincoln Track Club.
Thank you, Shane. Thank you to the City of Lincoln, the Lincoln Police Department, Lincoln Fire and Rescue, the University of Nebraska, Pink Gorilla Events, and to the thousands of volunteers who have worked extremely hard to bring to you the 48th Annual Lincoln Marathon and Half Marathon. With me today is Jamie Lamka, co-director of the 2025 Lincoln Marathon. Jamie will be taking over from me next year. So we're excited to welcome nearly 7,000 runners and tens of thousands of spectators, friends, and family members to our race and to the city of Lincoln this weekend. 48 states and 5 different countries will be represented this year, and I'm excited to announce that the 2025 Lincoln Marathon will once again be the official National Guard Marathon time trial event. Our partnership with the National Guard throughout the years is a tremendous source of pride for me, and I'm grateful for their support and for their participation. The race will once again begin at 14th and Vine on UNL City campus. Then both races finish on Stadium Drive in the shadow of Memorial Stadium. Our team is watching the weather closely and will provide up-to-date information on any delays or cancellations on our event's website at www.lincolnmarathon.org/event-update. As of today, we are expecting mild temperatures with a slight chance of rain. Ben Cahoon will add more details to this here in a few moments. But as we make the final preparations for this weekend, I want to extend my gratitude to the residents of Lincoln, as I know this race can be an inconvenience to many of you. I'm extremely proud of my hometown and cannot think of a better way to showcase it to the runners and their families, and I hope that you will all join me in the support and encouragement of these runners and welcome them to our fair city. With that, I'll turn it over to Ben Cahoon with Pink Gorilla Events.
Morning. One of the things that everyone's talked about is the weather. One of the things that we use is the event alert system. So during the race, we'll have at water stations different levels of flags potentially. So what we're looking at right now is the wet bulb globe temperature uses actual temperature, cloud cover, wind, and dew point to figure out how this will react to the runner's body. So right now, we're mostly looking in the green. It may get up to the moderate afternoon for the full marathoners that are out on the course. And as Ryan said, there's a slight chance of thunder. So we're watching the weather. If you're running this weekend, continue to watch the weather and dress appropriately. We'll connect with you as needed, but expect green, which is good conditions. The other thing that I just wanted to mention is LincolnMarathon.org is the best place to find information. This will have our athlete guide in digital version. You can get this on the weekend in printed form. This will have tracking apps, so if you want to follow your runner, you can enter their bib number and follow them along the race day. And then there's route maps, and then as Shane said, the Waze app is really the best way if you just want to figure out your way around the race course this weekend. So I'd like to invite up LPD investigator Jason.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm investigator Jason Dreger with the Lincoln Police Department. I'll be out on the course this weekend, not directing traffic, but instead running in this year's race in full uniform. I'll be competing in the half marathon, representing the Lincoln Police Department and raising money for a cause close to my heart, the Lincoln chapter of the First Responders Foundation. The foundation's mission is to serve and honor all our first responders, veterans, and their families, and to build appreciation for the work we do while enhancing public safety through education and support. Every dollar raised through my run will go directly toward programs and resources that benefit both the Lincoln Police Department and the community. My wife and I are both Lincoln Police Department officers, and together we are raising 3 amazing boys. Supporting both law enforcement and our city isn't just a job, it's a way of life for our family. Friends and loved ones are pledging donations for every mile I complete, and yes, I will guarantee it will be all 13.1 of them. I ran the Tunnel to Towers 5K in full uniform last year, so I know just how tough and how meaningful this challenge will be. I'm looking forward to participating in this year's incredible event that brings our city together. Thank you.
Thanks, Investigator Drager, and good luck. We'll be cheering you on along the race course. And for anyone interested in donating, you can visit firstrespondersfoundation.org/Lincoln-Nebraska-chapter. Just include in the comments Lincoln, so any contribution will be routed to Lincoln's chapter of the First Responders Foundation. And we will take any questions you may have. Anthony?
I guess I'm the one. So just, this is kind of towards the race
Sure.
Team.
We'll welcome them up.
So compared to previous years, how do these numbers stack up in terms of how many people are registered for the event, both half and full marathon?
Okay. So before the pandemic, we would have had close to 10,000 runners. And then since the pandemic, we've kind of been slowly growing the event. So this will be the largest number that we've had, the biggest fields that we've had since the pandemic.
Gotcha. You mentioned the weather, possible rain showers, I guess, on Sunday. Is there anything that people should be concerned about with regards to rain? Is it going to be rain or shine?
Yeah.
What would constitute it being postponed or canceled, I guess, for that kind of weather?
Yeah. If all we're seeing is rain without the threat of thunder and lightning, then generally we'll follow the same schedule. When we start to see lightning within 10 miles of the course, or the starting line, finish line, or any part of the course, that's when we'll begin to consider delays. And I think we can delay up until about an hour. So 59 minutes is okay. We can still have the run if we have a lightning strike, and have to delay up to 59 minutes. But if we get to that 60, then we're having to make a decision on whether or not to cancel the event.
Gotcha. I guess for Shane, not you, Shane, sorry.
Yeah.
MJ pointed over there earlier. So I'm like, Shane. No, Shane.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you mentioned Normal Boulevard. It's kind of a mixed bag right now, just driving in terms of construction, lane merging and whatnot. Is that going to impact, and how is that going to impact runners and drivers while the race is going through that area?
So what you see out there today is between 56th and 48th, we have people shifted into, I'll call it the southernmost lanes for eastbound and westbound. So come Friday this week, the westbound traffic will be just in one lane on their westbound lanes, and then race day we will have the southernmost eastbound lane. So there'll still be one lane of travel in each direction there, and it'll be back to normal. I shouldn't say normal because it won't be normal, but construction-related time frame. So, and then depending on how weather is this week, from 48th to 33rd, hopefully they're kind of done in that area for the time being, and that'll all be opened back up to just normal traffic in that area. So yeah, what you see out there today is not what you'll see out there Sunday. So I would say for residents of Lincoln, don't get accustomed to what's out there today. We'll make changes on Friday to make it more safe for the runners and the drivers, so we can separate those because it's kind of confusing out there.
Will the runners have their own designated lane so they don't have
Yes.
to worry about closing down the street entirely?
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
The runners will have, like I said, the southernmost, what I'm going to call eastbound lanes or leaving town lane. They'll have that dedicated in themselves. Drivers will be in the next lane over to them, and then westbound will be on the other side of the median and common left turn lanes. So so drivers won't be right next to one another. Runners and drivers in the same direction will. So.
I guess for LPD, like, traffic wise, are you guys going to have LPD officers at where the traffic is blocked off? And, if so, how does that impact, staffing wise?
Yeah, so we have officers at numerous locations across the course. We strategically place them at the intersections that are busiest and see the most cross traffic, and we try to work vehicles through those areas when we can. Other intersections have volunteers through Lincoln Track Club that monitor those spots, and we use a lot of officers on their off-duty time to make this event happen. And so your normal responses to calls for service and incidents that happen within the city, those will be handled just as they are on any Sunday, and we'll have extra staffing to work the marathon course itself.
It's mentioned that when the runners are going through those areas, the road is going to be closed until the last runner goes through. Does that mean if runners are taking not as fast as others, that intersection could be closed for a really long time, or are you going to let some pass, cars go through when there's nobody there as runners are kind of catching up to that intersection?
Yeah, for traffic that's crossing the course, that's when we're going to allow cars to go through as we can safely. But there are places on the course where the road itself is closed for the marathon, and that's what's meant by until the last runner. And so when that last runner leaves that space, then we'll open the course up for normal vehicular traffic.
Gotcha. And is that kind of 10th and Vine? I think you said 10th Street from Vine or
from
Van Dorn to K.
Van Dorn to K.
Is that pretty much what we're talking about there? That is going to be completely shut down until the last runner?
Yeah, so 10th Street from Van Dorn to K will be completely closed in that section. We know that there's residents that live on some of those side streets that may get onto 10th Street. So we're basically going to have 2 lanes dedicated to runners, a buffer lane, what we're calling a buffer lane, where there won't be anybody. We'll have LT will have some dump trucks in those lanes so that people don't get in those lanes. And then another lane will be available for traffic. But if they get on 10th Street, anywhere in that section, there's officers at 10th and South, 10th and A, 10th and D, 10th and G that'll get the drivers back off the course. So that's one location where, it's completely closed during the event. Other locations, like Ben said, so for instance, 27th and Highway in Nebraska Parkway. You won't be able to go north there or south in that section. 33rd and Nebraska Parkway, 40th and Nebraska Parkway, 48th Street from Nebraska Parkway to Calvert Street is completely closed in that area. Other than that, most of the full closures are on the half marathon route because that's the majority of the runners. The full marathon route, like Ben said, as the officers can get people through, they will. There's going to be some points in there where it's not feasible, but so that's.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I wanted to add that on the LincolnMarathon.org website, we have a very detailed map that lists several intersections and the dates that the timelines that the runners will be in those intersections. So as an example, 16th and South, we expect the first runner at 7:12 a.m., but then the last runner to be through at 8:21 a.m. So this would be a good resource if people are concerned about specific intersections.
Gotcha. For you then, up here, what's it kind of mean for you? I know you said you're kind of going to be transitioning somebody else into this position in the next marathon.
Mm-hmm.
What's it mean for you to kind of see how this has grown to the pandemic, fallen, and is starting to come back, and Lincoln is hosting a marathon that is holding people from across the country and the world to come visit this city?
It means a tremendous amount. As I mentioned, I'm born and raised here in Lincoln, so this is my hometown marathon. I've always loved this event, and I'm quite frankly humbled to be a part of it or to be able to be a part of the planning of this event. So Being able to bring that post-pandemic back to our runners, back to the country, just a tremendous source of pride for me.